From Texas Public Radio, this is Texas Matters, a weekly radio news magazine that looks at the issues, events, and people in the Lone Star State. Today on Texas Matters, what Texas is doing for our veterans and how you can help.
Our purpose is to advocate for veterans to help them with their needs.
How one Texas town is putting their troops first.
So we think we're the first in the nation to establish this as a new part of our culture.
And one Texas writer's vision of a vampire virus that ends the world.
I like to say the end of the world begins under the West Loop Freeway at San Felipe.
This is Texas Matters from Texas Public Radio. I'm David Martin Davies. In Wichita Falls, in the Texas Panhandle, they're taking an extra step to honor their service members. They've started a new program called Troops First, and it encourages civilians to give up their place in line for uniformed servicemen and women. Carla Bolin is with the Wichita Falls Chamber of Commerce.
Troops First is an idea that really was just born of a need to do something tangible to thank Shepherd Air Force Base for what they do. We have about 17 or 18,000 students come through our Air Force Base each year. And so many times they're young, they're away from home, for the first time, and we wanted to introduce a campaign that says when you are in line anywhere, at the mall or at a movie theater, and you see a uniformed person, you offer them your place in line. So it's a very simple concept. It's not been done by a city before. So we think we're the first in the nation to establish this as a new part of our culture. We hope that this is a permanent campaign, that people just learn to do it. Our campaign specifically kicks off June 1st, and it will continue through September 11th, the 10th anniversary of 9/11. So we're going to be educating our public, putting up decals on all store windows that say Troops First. We hope in the fall that we'll have a lesson plan for children where they learn what each military uniform means in the different branches, and then they'll come home with a Troops First sticker and hopefully tell their parents, we're really supposed to let those military people go first. So it's a real tangible way to show our appreciation, welcome those young students to Wichita Falls, and really as they go around the world in different countries. Shepherd Air Force Base is a NATO base, so literally the message about the friendliness here could go worldwide.
Was this constructed with talking to some of the military brass in Wichita Falls?
As a matter of fact, they were very surprised by it. We just told them about it today when we had the luncheon. Colonel Hake was the commanding officer there, and he was very surprised and delighted. He thought it was a wonderful and very easy thing to do, but he says the upper brass has always had a wonderful relationship with the Wichita Falls, and he thought it was wonderful that now we would get the 18-year-old and 19-year-olds who've just signed up, have them feel a part of the community as well.
And how do you think the general public is going to take to this idea?
We think it's going to do very well. We have a new Facebook page that we're calling Troops First, and we're going to have people log on and say where they were when they saw a line parted and someone from the military advanced, and then on a random basis we're going to give out a small cash reward for the person who let someone have their place in line.
I live in San Antonio, which is a military city, and yes. I was talking to someone who just moved here from Washington, D.C., and her husband is an officer in the Air Force. And they're saying about here in Texas that they really see a difference in the way that people treat the military, that there's all sorts of military discounts at restaurants and different places, and people just walk up to you and thank you for your service. And I certainly think this is something that Wichita Falls is doing that certainly I think is going to spread all over Texas.
Well, thank you. We think so, too. We have decals that we've made for all local businesses, and they can put the decals on their front door or their cash register, and that's just a sign that they've endorsed the idea and they support our troops.
Do you think that some military servicemen and women may feel a little hesitant to take advantage of this program?
Well, we hope not. If I am the person who's in line ahead of the uniformed person, I am just going to go back and tell that person, please take my place in line. It's akin to buying their lunch anonymously, which happens from time to time, or just shaking their hand in an airport and saying thank you for your service. But we think that it's really going to catch on because it's a very simple thing to do. And I hope that they become used to it. And certainly they're too appropriate to take advantage of it. But we think that it will catch on in the community, in the county. The mayor has signed a resolution asking for the city to do it and to be a part of it. And so our hope is that 30 years from now, when we're all gone, Wichita Falls will still be parting their line to let someone from Shepherd Air Force Base take their place.
Carla Bolin is with the Wichita Falls Chamber of Commerce. They're promoting a new campaign called Troops First.